welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Interviewer. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, it's a pleasure to have you. So what was your relationship with Santiago Nizar?
Well, I was his servant until he was murdered, but we never got along too well.
Why is that?
We never had a good history. He was never really nice to me.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Morning, Santiago. Would you like some coffee?
Yes, Devin, give me some coffee.
Here you go.
The time has come for you to be tamed.
Let go of her, white man. You won't have a drink of that water as long as I'm alive.
Hello, Victoria. So now that we know what kind of relationship your daughter had with Mr. Nizar, what kind of relationship did you have with him?
Hello, sir. I never really had a relationship with him, but I always wanted to keep my daughter away from him.
Why is that?
Well, his father, Abraham, had seduced me when I was younger, and then he was done with me. He took me as a servant, so I have made it a goal not to let that happen to Davina.
That's understandable. So you didn't have anything against Mr. Nizar besides what his father did to you?
That and that my daughter has been a victim of his overpowering. I tried to keep him away from Davina every chance that I get.
What do you mean?
Well, the day he was killed, he asked me to tell Davina to wake him up at 5:30. I followed his orders to wake him, but I didn't send Davina a floor and went up to the bedroom myself. White man, coffee will be ready soon.
Not right now. I'll have some later. Tell Davina to wake me up at 5:30 sharp and bring me a clean change of clothes.
Santiago, time to get up. It's 5:30.
So Davina, did Santiago always treat you like this?
Most of the time, yes, but it was mostly when no one else was around. But he always had this aura of machismo around him.
Did he do anything to harm you, or was he just saying things?
Leading up to his death, I went to go open the door for him. That's when he grabbed my whole. That's what he always did when he caught me alone in some corner of the house.
You never thought to tell anybody? How did this make you feel?
That day, I didn't feel the usual surprise, but an awful urge to cry.
I'm so sorry about that. You sounded like a real macho guy, and you were unfortunately a victim of that. Were you aware that the Vicario twins were going to murder Santiago? Why didn't you tell him?
In my heart, I wanted them to kill him. I was nothing but a frightened child, incapable of making a decision of my own. I was scared that if I told him, he would call it nonsense and get mad at me.
Well, okay, I'm not exactly a therapist, so we'll move on to the next question. What was your reaction to Santiago's death?
All I could think about was how it was my fault. What I had said was he had went up to his room a minute ago to his mother, and she took it at face value, and she ended up locking the door, and he was killed right outside the house. But to be honest, there was always a part of me that was relieved he was dead.